Hey, y'all, welcome back to the Late Night Vision Show. This is episode number 241. My name is Jason. I'm the owner of Outdoor Legacy. We specialize in all things night vision and thermal optics. And as always, I've got my co-host with the mostest, Mr. Hans from the Hans East Texas YouTube channel. What's going on tonight?
Man, not much is going on, but we're rocking and rolling right through these best of series. We're on episode number 5 of the series. Today is going to be best high-end and our favorite high-end thermal scopes of 2022. And guess what? We sell all of these optics that we've talked about. So you can call us, you can talk to me or Jason if you're interested in buying an optic, but you need help deciding on what to get. This is Jason and I. This is our full-time job. So you can call us 877-350-1818. It is, I tell you what, y'all, Jason and I are doing everything we can just to keep our heads above water every day because the amount of phone calls that we get, but we feel blessed and thank you for calling. We would much rather be so busy that him and I can't chat with each other during the day. Rather, we'd be, glad to be doing that rather than sitting around twiddling our thumbs. So thank y'all for calling. I swear, everybody that calls say, I watched the show and you said if we need help to give you a call. Yes, if you need to buy an optic, we sell them. OutdoorLegacyGear.com, 877-350-1818. Jason, I am ready to talk about some big boy toys, and that's what we're talking about this week.
I am too. These are the big boy toys, guys. This is a real list. Now listen, I know Hans kind of brought this up last week when we were in the best of under $6,000 price range. This week, we're basically in the 6,000 plus. Okay, so this goes from $6,000 all the way to the top. And boys, you better get your wallets out. And I'm gonna explain this because Hans kind of gave his disclaimer a little bit last week. So I know right now there are guys watching this show and they're saying this is ridiculous. Who in the world needs a 6, 7, 8, 9, or maybe even an $18,000 thermal scope? And you know what? Not everybody needs one. Maybe nobody needs one, but a lot of people want them. And so I think Hans, I don't remember if this was your example last week, but I think it is, talking about if your hobby is, bass fishing or golf or whatever, and you are all in on it, it's not crazy to go out and spend crazy money on, custom golf clubs and golf carts and bass boats and rods and tackle. And there's a lot of guys that night hunting is their passion and it's what they do. And they don't, they don't go out and play golf and they may not fish and they may not do all these other things. So they want to go all in on their passion. And that's where, a lot of the customers come from that are in this category. But regardless, it doesn't have to be for you. Here's the good news about these categories. Here's what I like. This is something we preach on this show a lot. And that is, a lot of these scopes that are here in this category, every one of these are the top of the top. These are maybe the best image quality that you can get. But what's awesome about it is as these scopes improve over time, what we're seeing is the trickle down. That means that the scopes on the lower side of this, not low end, but these scopes in this, below 6,000 last week, they are inching up to the quality of these scopes because the quality on the bottom gets better as it trickles down from the top. And the point I'm making here is as these scopes continue to get better and as we see new improvements in image quality and higher resolution and all these things, it's going to start forcing these type of scopes. The prices are going to be lower. You're going to get this kind of image quality today that may cost you, $6,000-8,000. You may get that for $5,000-6,000 in a couple of years. And so anyway, just making that point. It is a fun category because it is it's the World Series per se of this industry. It's the best of the best. My last disclaimer before I let Hans jump into this list is these are our favorite scopes, guys. We say this every single week, but it's a big deal because we don't want people going nuts in the comment section and trying to hang us because we didn't pick their favorite scope. these are our favorite scopes. And sometimes there's some scopes, and we're going to kind of get into this, where we've got to pick a scope just because it's so darn good. It's so popular. It's so well loved. And we're going to talk about that. But these are our picks. Every scope on this list deserves to be on the list. We do not list scopes. We do not sell scopes that we do not believe in, that we don't trust, that we don't think bring something to the table that is unique, or that is in a good price point, or it's a good value for the dollar. So here we go. Hits our disclaimer. Hans, run through this list and let's talk about the contenders.
I'm glad you brought that up, because if it's been on any one of these shows for the last 5 weeks, it's a good scope. So that you just know that it is. We have not put any bad scopes on the list, and that's why when you call up, we might suggest one that wasn't a winner, but it was still on our list. And if one of these scopes are too expensive, then you might have some other hobbies that are also expensive. So maybe you have to clear out some of those hobbies to buy one of these nice scopes.
That's right.
You know, a lot of people do is they say, oh, bass fishing's relaxing to me, or golfing is relaxing to me. I tell you, none of those sports are relaxing to me. I have so much anxiety when I go out and play golf. But there's something about having a busy day, Jason, like we do, and going out at night and sitting there and making a stand. It's quiet. You're making a stand for coyotes, and it's just nothing to me is more relaxing than hunting at night. So anyway, I'll get to the list. All right. So this is the list of contenders for our favorite best high-end thermal scopes of 2022. We're going to start out with you're going to hear Envision a lot, just so you know. The Envision Knox 35. That is a 2.5 power base magnification unit. Price on that is $6,795. Next is the Iray USA Alpha. It's a 3-power base magnification. The price on it, $6,999. Now, there's a lot of people out there to say, no, I just saw this scope last week. And right now we're taping this towards the middle of December 2022. Yes, this scope just went on sale not that long ago. It's on sale right now for $5,499. So basically $1,500 off. We've dealt with this with another scope. I think it was the Bolt TL35. So when we made all these lists and contenders, the price was still $69.99. And that's where the price category, that's where it deserves to be, because when it came into the market, that was the price. It just recently was put down on sale for $54.99. Who knows where it's going after that? So we decided to keep it into the high end contender list and the high end division, just because that's where it spent the majority of this year. 99% of this year was in that category. Anyway, so that's the Iray USA Alpha. Again, $69.99. It's on sale right now for $54.99. The Envision Halo LR. This scope has been on this list since this list is, this contest has ever been around the last several years. It's a favorite. 3.5 power base magnification. The price on it, $7,495. We move on to the Envision Halo X35, which is a 2.5 power base magnification unit for $7,495. The Envision Halo X50, which is a 3.5 power base magnification. Price on that's $8,495. The Envision, we keep saying the Envision Halo XRF, 3.5 power base magnification with the included laser rangefinder. Price is $9,495. And then the last one on the list, and there's a big discrepancy in price. This, when they say this escalated quickly, it did. The Iray USA Rico MK1 RS75, the brand new and first on the civilian market 1280 thermal scope. It's a 2-power base magnification. It does come with a laser rangefinder module that's not permanently attached, but plugs into the side of the scope and mounts on the side of the scope. The price on that, $17,999. So we jump up very quickly and very sharply from the second I get to last contender on the list. But
Yeah.
anyway, Jason, let's jump into the winners. We're not going to hold them back. We're not going to make them wait till the end of the show. We're going to tell them winners. We've got 2 winners and an honorable mention, and then we're going to discuss each one of these scopes in depth after that.
Okay, so the winners of this category are going to be there's 2 of them here. I'm trying to guess if I can hold these up. It is going to be the Infrared, the Iray Rico 1280. That is the RS75. And it is going to be I'm trying to hold these where the light's not shining, the Envision Halo XRF. So these are our 2 favorite picks. We do have a contender for the basically honorable mention, and that is going to be the Envision Knox 35. So real quick, just saying that again, we've got the Iray RS75, the first 1280 thermal rifle scope for hunting on the market, $17,999. Then the Envision Halo XRF, $94.99, and then the Envision Knox 35 for $67.95. Those are our top 3 personal picks. Now, Hans, let's talk. I'm going to try to hold these up again. I didn't do a real great job. These things are super heavy, and there's like a light shining all over them. All right, guys, so let's do this. Let's go ahead and let's talk through this whole list. I want to talk about the ones we chose and the ones that we didn't choose as the winners for ourselves, but I still want to talk about them and kind of go over these quickly. And so, Hans, let's start with the Knox. I mean, I know this is something that you've been using recently. We love the Envision products, and I think that the Knox 35 is I'll be honest with you guys. This was tough because we both really wanted to pick the Knox for one of our top 2 here. So, I mean, let's talk about it a little bit, and maybe we can say why we didn't or what have you.
I absolutely love the Knox 35, and I'm going to tell you, it's a 2.5 power. It goes up to 10 power base magnification, runs on an 18650 rechargeable battery, comes with the locking American Defense Manufacturing mount. You mount it on a rifle, take it on and off, holds 0. It also, this optic, which you and I don't do anything with, and it is helmet mountable. But the great thing is it's small enough you could use it as a monocular. So you can scan with it. You can put it on a rifle. It's small enough that it's the size of a normal thermal monocular. And it's got a wide field of view, but it's got enough magnification that you can reach out there and take a pretty long shot. I mean, with it, excellent picture image, 640 resolution, 12 micron with the BAE thermal core thermal sensor. I absolutely love this scope, Jason. It is definitely one of my favorites, and the only reason it's not the winner, honestly, is because the XRF is so popular. The XRF is, their number 1 selling scope, the most popular Envision scope. But the Knox 35, for what you and I do, probably the best choice. Now, the only downside is for what we're doing is it doesn't record video. That's the only thing. And that's just for us because we're in the business of creating content and using that content. Now, a lot of you out there don't care about video recording or any of that. And if you need something that's, if your average shot is under 150 yards, yes, you can definitely take a shot longer than that. But if your average shot is under 150 yards, you want something small and compact, and you don't care about video recording, man, that's the scope. That is the scope.
It is for unbelievable. Sure. No, man, I agree. Size, weight, 18650 batteries, American Defense mount. I mean, there is not a scope on the market that offers what the Knox does, meaning the image quality coupled with a 2.5 power magnification coupled with the size and the weight. It is phenomenal. If they put video recording in that, it would be detrimental to a lot of their other sales, because I think there would be a lot of guys who do want the video recording would jump on that because of what it is. But again, we sell a lot of these, and it goes, like to guys that go, I want all that, and I don't really care about the video recording. Yeah, that's cool, but
yeah.
you know, my wife and kids don't care, and so they're no, you know, my buddies don't want to see my 80th coyote kill, and so let's just get it and go.
I
hunting.
don't know. You and I were talking about this the other week. The Knox 35 was almost like the unknown secret that a lot of people didn't know about, and it seemed like after we did our review of it not that long ago, it has just gone crazy. People are buying that thing like crazy, and it's almost like we, kind of showed the world the secret that
I think you're giving us a little too much.
I don't
credit
know.
now. I don't know about us, but yeah, I do admit that I think that
after we did that show, it has just exploded for us. For us,
I don't. Yeah. Okay, yeah. I don't want to give ourselves that much credit, but I will say you're right. It has been overshadowed by the Halo X line ever since the inception. It gets forgotten about. And man, I mean, I'm telling you, it's fantastic. All right, let's move on here. Let's talk about the Iray Alpha.
Yeah,
so,
why is the Alpha not a choice? Because Jason, as you know, I cannot think of a scope release that was as anticipated and as greatly marketed than the Iray Alpha.
I think the Alpha is a fantastic scope. I think especially now that it's on this super, December promo that Iray USA is running. So now listen, guys, you may be watching this next year, January, February, whatever, sometime in 2023. We don't know what the price is going to do. Currently in December 2022, Iray says that the price is going to return to normal on January 1. So that could be, they could do something different. We don't know. But I'm just, as of right now, it is a super fantastic sale. I think that the Alpha is really one of the coolest looking scopes made. I really, really like the body, the coyote tan, the design, the texture on the housing. It's like its little brother, the Iray USA Bravo, that's that gray color. And I know I've had guys say, well, I don't like the color. Well, I get it, and that's fine. If you don't like it, there are 80 more black scopes to choose from. But Iray was trying to do something different, and I think it's awesome. I think it's really cool to put some color just to set them apart. And image quality is great. That the features. One thing that a lot of people don't know is that the Alpha includes a spare battery. It uses the removable, rechargeable Iray battery packs, but it includes a spare and it includes the American Defense manufacturing mount. So it's a really good deal. I think the one thing that is a gripe with some guys about the Alpha, and I mean, I'm willing to accept this, is that it's a shame that it's again, I don't want to say brother again. I don't know, whatever you want to say. It's the model that it is built off of, which is the Iray Rico RH50. Okay, that's the same scope. This is the RH50 in a different housing. Is the RH50 can take the laser rangefinder, and this unit can't. And so there's a lot of guys that are like, man, I really want it, but I want the laser rangefinder, and now Iray's got a promo running on the laser rangefinder with the RH50. So I don't know. This scope is cool as it is, and as everybody who buys them absolutely loves it. I do think that the fact that it can't take the laser rangefinder has turned some guys off who were longer range shooters and wished that they could get it since they could on the RH50. But it's a great scope, and I'll tell you, there's one thing that I'm just sitting here looking at this list. Every scope on this list has a 5-year warranty. And that's a big deal. Yeah. If you're spending this kind of money, you want a darn good warranty. And all the Envisions and all the Irays, it's a 5-year warranty. Yeah. And that's a very, very big deal. Whether you're buying, any of these scopes, you can rest assured that, you're getting a couple years longer than what the average warranty length is in the industry. So anyway, that's a very good deal. All right.
Yeah.
Hans, let's talk about the elder of this group, the oldest scope on the list. It's been around a long time, the grandpa.
Yeah, it has been on this list for a long time, and in this category. I would say, the Envision Halo LR, it's been around, hasn't changed much at all. I would say maybe some improvements in firmware over the years, but 3.5 power base magnification. Price on it, $74.95. This is a no frills scope. Does not have internal video or audio recording. It runs on CR123 batteries. If you're wanting a fantastic scope with fantastic picture image, but you don't care about all the other add-ons, whether it be rechargeable batteries or video recording, still a very good option. But when the Halo X's came out, the Halo X35, 50, and XRF, it made the Halo LR not as sexy. I'll say that.
I think that, what the Halo LR, and by the way, there has been one more upgrade. So when the Halo X's came out, the Envision put a new, better quality germanium lens to improve the image a little bit, and they did start putting that in the LR as well. So if you buy an LR from the time that the Halo X's came out to now, right, you're getting that better germanium lens. So that is an improvement for the same price. But right now, the Halo LR, for us is basically a special order. You've got to call us and say, I want this. Okay, we'll get it for you. We don't stock it anymore. And the reason is, while it is a great scope, and there are people who say, I don't need all the bells and whistles, there's two things about it, I think, that hurt it a little bit in this day and age. It didn't hurt it, several years ago when it first came out, but it's the fact that it takes 4 CR123As, and that's a lot of those batteries. Okay, that's a lot of batteries to feed it, and unlike every other scope on this list from both Iray and Envision, it cannot run off of plugging directly into the scope with a regular USB cable. It can't run off of a USB battery pack like that. Now, I want to be clear. It can run off of a USB battery pack, but you have to use this special little, I don't remember if it's like 8 pins or something. It's a little round connector. You got to plug this thing in. The other end is USB, and it goes to your little battery pack. And it's just not as convenient because you got to have their little cable that comes with the scope to actually do that. And most people would prefer to, plug USB right into the side of the scope with no adapter, little funny, pins. But again, that wasn't that common back then. And so now that it is, so I think it shows its age, but it's still around. It's a great scope. But I do think that it gets very, very, very quickly overshadowed by the Halo X line.
So next on the list, the Envision, and we're getting in the first Halo X's, but the Envision Halo X35. And Jason, it's a 2.5 power base magnification, goes up to 10 power. The price on it's $74.95. You and I have sat around and thought and been like, why does that scope not sell more than it does? Because, for you and I, it is a perfect base magnification.
That's right.
And if most of your shots, the vast majority are under 150 yards, and you're coyote hunting, hog hunting, varmint hunting, whatever, it's a fantastic scope. The only thing I can think of is maybe the majority of the Envision hunters or the high-end hunters are predator hunters, and they're doing it in longer distances. But that scope, the Halo X35, runs on 18650 batteries, has video and audio recording. The video looks great. The audio is great. Love the fact that it has that it runs on 18650 batteries. I think that Envision just hit it out of the park when they brought these Halo X's out on the market because of the features. 5-year warranty. This scope should sell more than it does. Still a popular scope, but greatly overshadowed by the other Halo X's, in our opinion.
Yeah. I think this is an example of, I think when something, a certain model gets popular, then the other models get overshadowed, wrongly so. And so I always say the more of a model that sells, the more a model sells, the more that model sells. And what I mean by that is if 100 guys buy a scope and they like it, they're going to tell their buddies, they're going to brag on it, they're going to go to Facebook, social media, they're going to post about it, and people go, oh, well, that looks like a good scope. That's the one I ought to get. And so they buy it, and then it's just this snowball effect. And I think that's what happened to the Halo X35. It is, I'm going to be clear, guys. It is a Knox 35 in the Halo housing.
Yeah.
Same image quality, same magnification, same everything, except it includes the, video recording and what have you. And so as much as we loved the Knox, we have to love the Halo X35. Now, again, I wish it was the size of the Knox with these features, but again, we love it. For what we're doing, this probably ought to be our favorite pick. But at the same time, we're going to talk about this here in a minute. We have to talk about what, the market absolutely loves and we love as well. And Halo X35 is just, again, I think it's just been overshadowed because so many guys go, well, if I'm going to buy one, I'm going to go for a big boy. I'm going to go to the X50 or I'm going to go to the XRF. And so rolling into that, the next one on the list is the Envision Halo X50, and that's going to be $84.95, $99, I don't know whichever, basically
95,
$85, $84.95, $8,500, just like the Halo X35. Exact same optic, 18650s, video and audio recording. It does have the option for streaming to a smartphone, but it is a 3.5 power base mag. So again, for your average hog hunter, they don't want 3.5. But I think a lot of hog hunters are buying the X50 because their buddy bought the X50. I think that's really where we're at with that scope.
Yep. And so with the Halo X50, you can't really talk about the Halo X50 without talking about the XRF because they're basically the same scope, except
that's correct.
The XRF has the laser rangefinder. So the Halo XRF, again, 3.5 power, goes up to 12 power goes up to 12 power magnifications, 4 times digital zoom. The price on it, $9,495. The only difference between the Halo X50 and the Halo XRF is the XRF has a laser rangefinder. The X50 doesn't. So if you feel like you don't need a laser rangefinder or you don't want to pay for the upgrade, you don't have to do that. You can settle with the Halo X50. But the Halo XRF, their most expensive optic, Jason, we talk about this all the time, is their number one, or it's their number one selling unit for us. Absolutely, by far.
It's their number one selling unit.
I would think so too. But it's kind of funny. Their most expensive one. When this scope first came out on the market, there were a lot of guys that kind of look at it like they do the Ricoh RS75. It's like, who would ever spend 10 grand on a thermal scope? And I'm gonna tell you what, man, the XRF lit it on fire.
A lot of people,
and and it's just sold so many, done so well. Very good scope. As far as picture image, of course, it's what you expect with an Envision optic, but the features are fantastic. The laser rangefinder works well. I mean, you cannot go to social media and watch a hunting video or watch a night hunting video without seeing several XRF videos and thinking, man, that looks fantastic. It is, there's a reason why it won this year. And I'm going to tell you, if it's on the list again next year, which I don't know why it wouldn't be, but it'd be hard to, say it, why, it wouldn't be the winner next year too, just because of how great it is, unless something else spectacular comes out. But the Halo XRF, X50, pretty much the same, except the laser rangefinder on the XRF. And, we chose this as a winner, not necessarily because it's our favorite of the list, which it is one of our favorites. We've got a lot of favorites on this list, but we had to pick it because it is so much more wildly popular than pretty much anything else in this division.
That's true. I mean, it's true. It is just, it is the fan favorite. Okay. I would say if somebody picked this, I would say the market chose this. I mean, the hunters chose this. Again, we love it too. Okay. Yeah. We really, really do. It's hard not to like it. The laser rangefinder works so well. Just the whole kit and caboodle. Envision as a whole, a fantastic made in the USA company. I mean, they're outside of Boston. This is a legit company. These are high end, really, really nice optics. And the XRF is definitely the cherry on the top of that sundae, So the XRF's a great scope. It'd be, like you said, hard not to choose it. But now, this is where the big one comes in. And guys, I'm going to go ahead and say this. We'll get this out of the way. If you're like, what are these guys talking about? An $18,000 thermal scope. We have reviewed this scope on the show, the RS75. We have talked about it. There's a whole review. We've got footage from it. We've done that review. If you're like, what could make this thing worth $18,000? All that, go watch that review that we've done. And I think it will really help you to understand what this is and the significance of this scope, which I'm sure we're fixing to talk about because it's hard to talk about this and not. So Hans, tell them what it is.
Yeah, the Iray Rico MK1 RS75. It is the first civilian hunting thermal optic on the market that has a 1280 resolution thermal core. So, right now 640 resolution was always, considered the highest. And now Iray in Infrared Outdoors came out with a 1280. It's been talked about for a while, and I think people kind of knew it was coming. But man, I have not seen an optic hit the market with so much love and so much hate. in my life. There has been this optic, whether you like Iray or you don't, or if you have a favorite brand, whatever, this scope has definitely drawn the attention of not just people here, not just people that are hunting, but industry insiders, manufacturers. To be able to come out with the first 1280 optic is a huge deal. And we say $18,000, and what I'm about to say is probably make your head explode, but $18,000 is a deal considering what the numbers that we've heard thrown around before for 1280 thermal. I mean, that's up into the $40,000 range. Mm-hmm. So when they were able to come to the market at $18,000, we weren't sitting around thinking, wow, that's great, or that's inexpensive, because $18,000 is a lot of money. But as a company, Outdoor Legacy, we've sold several of these, and I'm going to tell you what, the people that have gotten it, they've called us and said, this thing is lived up to all the hype that we've heard about on the internet. I mean, it's
so if you go to our website right now, there are multiple reviews from just a few of the customers from Outdoor Legacy. So if you go to our website and you click on this scope, you can see the reviews from actual guys who bought it from us. And I mean, it's the reviews are legit. I've talked to several of these guys on the phone. I got to be honest with you. When you're selling something this expensive that is this far away from the competition, again, we're talking about, whatever this, I'm not doing the math here, $8,000 or something more than the XRF. I mean, it's not double, but it's close. You look at it and you're like, we've used it. We've hunted with it a lot. We know what it's capable of, but you always worry like, okay, so is the guy buying this, he's the one putting his hard-earned money on the line. Is he going to get it and be like, okay, it's cool, but it's not worth that? He's going to be the biggest critic because he spent his money on it. And trust me, if he didn't like it, we're going to hear about it. These guys that have bought these things are like going nuts. I talked to a guy, and I got to be careful here how much I say. This guy owns a bunch of scopes. He owns most of the scopes on this list. And I was super nervous. This guy got there, was like, oh my gosh, what's this guy going to think? I talked to him the other day. He was on the range with it. He was shooting. He was just ecstatic. And he said, this is the most legit thing I've ever seen. He was like, I just cannot believe it. My eyes have been opened. I didn't think that anything could be better. This is phenomenal. I can't wait until what's next after 1280. I want it. When is it coming? And right. So the point that I'm making is that it is legit. And the guys who are buying it, who can afford it, they know what they're getting, and they have not been disappointed. It is really, really cool. And, I want to speak to something real quick. Han said a lot of love and a lot of hate. There has been a lot of hate on this scope. And, listen, when things that are really, 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 really expensive come out, as a society, a lot of people love to hate on things they can't afford. or maybe they can afford it. I mean, they could make the purchase, but it would be a very poor decision for them. So people love to hate things like that. I can tell you that if you came to this as an unbiased person of, I just want to see this for what it is, you cannot look through this and not appreciate what it is. Now, is it worth $18,000 to you or to me or to the next guy? Maybe, maybe not. Everybody's got to decide for their money. But I can tell you, it is the real deal. And what Hans and I have just gone on and on the show about with this 1280 is that whether you or I or anybody else thinks it's worth $18,000, it doesn't matter. It exists. It's here. And the industry is forever more changed. This day when this scope came out changed the industry. There will be more high resolution scopes above 640 resolution. I can guarantee you that other manufacturers are now saying, we got to find a way to do it. And guess what? We don't want ours to be $18,000. We want ours to be less expensive. And I mean, that's good. That's good for you and me and everybody. And we talked about it when we reviewed this scope. There was the first flat screen TV, the first color TV, the first cell phone, all these things, and they were stupid expensive, and the average guy didn't buy them. But now, because somebody did buy them, and the market accepted it, and competition and capitalism came in, now we all have, iPhones we put in our pocket, and we've all got flat screen TVs and laptop computers and everything else. So I think this scope deserves this award. Number one, the image quality is insane. It is legit, and it is truly revolutionary for what it is. And again, you may go, gosh, I can't spend this much money. Well, guess you can spend half as much and still get a fantastic scope here. We've got a list full of them.
In our review video, the RS75, Jason actually made a case and did the math and proved that the RS75 was the least expensive scope on the market based on pixels. So it was the least expensive by
over that.
Least expensive scope on the market based on
per pixel.
So if you need to see how Jason did his funny math, no, it's not funny math. It's legit, but yeah,
I got some flack from that. I think there were some people that were like, it's true though. It is true, but yeah.
Well, so yes, it is worth $18,000. Is it worth ending my marriage over? Probably not. But a lot of people out there are in the same boat but great scope. You cannot give a scope like this. You cannot not give a scope like this an award, especially being what it's done for the industry. It's a great thing for the industry. And again, if it's out of your budget, like it's so many, like it's out of our budget, but it is going to make everything better. And we laid the case for that. So if you want to see that review and see how this is going to revolutionize the industry, go check out our review of the RS75 on YouTube, on wherever. But anyway, that is our list of contenders, our list of winners. Jason, next week, episode 242. We're on 241 right now. 242, best thermal handhelds. It's gonna
be a big show.
There's a lot of contenders. Let's just say that it is going to be a busy week, probably a long show because this was supposed to be a short show. And here we are staring at close to 40 minutes on what we thought we were going to be. So anyway, if you're looking to purchase one of the optics on this list, maybe you want to purchase an optic on the best entry-level list, whatever, between A and Z, we can get you covered. Give us a call, 877-350-1818. You can find all of our optics on the website at outdoorlegacygear.com. If you want to find our past episodes, really the easiest place, there's two easy places to find past episodes. The first one, theLateNightVisionShow.com. It's our website. You can go and scroll through all of our past episodes. If you've got something that you're specifically looking for, go to YouTube, search the Late Night Vision Show and whatever scope you're looking for. More than likely, it'll pop up in the search bar and you'll be able to go right to it. So you can find the Late Night Vision Show on Instagram, on YouTube, like I said, iTunes, Google Play, all the audio only versions of the of podcasts where you can find those. You can find Jason over on Facebook, over on Instagram, and on YouTube, Outdoor Legacy Gear. And also you can find me over on Instagram, Hans ETX, Hans ETX. And you can also find me on YouTube. Do a lot of short form reviews, some hunting videos. Whenever you and I have time to post videos, we do. It's been a little bit touch and go here lately. We got a new review coming out today, actually. So finally doing my review of the Pulsar Merger, which is being released today. But anyway, I think did I hit all the information?
I think you hit all the high points.
Okay.
So guys, we hope you've enjoyed this best of show. Like we said, if this is out of your budget or out of where you're wanting to get your feet wet, go back through our other episodes of the best of, and we've got them all the way down to the scope starting at about $2,000. And one thing that is very important, we want everybody to know, we do not expect you to be able to watch these shows, whether it's our best of or whether it's a certain review or whatever, to watch those and figure out exactly what you need, because you're looking at one piece of a puzzle, and you can watch a review and you can learn a lot about that one piece of the puzzle, but there's other pieces that you don't know about and you're still confused. That's what we're here for. That's why we say, if you're looking to make the purchase from Outdoor Legacy, we're here to help you. That's the service that we offer to our customers. So call us, and we are glad to say, all right, forget all the reviews, forget all the confusion. What are you doing? How are you doing it? Let's work you down to a small list. And then sometimes guys will say, okay, you've got me down to say 2 scopes. Now let me go watch your reviews on those scopes. And now I can see what they look like, and I can maybe see some video out of them, and I can get a better feel for what it is I'm buying. And then they call us back and make the purchase, feeling confident that, now I've got this small list to look at. Now I can, try to figure out maybe which one of those, 1 or 2, 3 scopes I really like. So that is, again, a service we offer our customers, and we would love to help you and love to have your business. Guys,
Absolutely.
we hope to see you here again next week. Like Con said, we're going to be hopefully reviewing our favorites on the thermal handhelds, and we've got some digital night vision stuff coming on up later after that. So y'all keep watching. We will see y'all here next week, but between now and then, y'all stay safe in the fields and keep making those bacon pancakes.